Uh, Jim Jones, the famous speaker, the teachers, has said that take, take for responsibility for what happens to you. It's where the high forms of human maturity, accepting for responsibility. It's the day you know you best from childhood to adulthood, the day you accept for responsibility. And another note, learn to live in the phone without the apology if you do well and without complaint if you don't. That's maturity. I used to have the long list, the reason why I wasn't doing well. To explain you got explains why you are gonna look bad. I used to have the funny list college reason for not looking good. I used to blame the government. I meant you believe that or not is word at the top of my list. I had a lecture second to none the government that was on the list. I used to blame the taste. Look what they got left, take everything. And they expect to do well. That's word on the list. Then price. That is right. You walk in a supermarket with $20, come out with a little half bucket. So I had that. I used to blame the weather. I blamed the traffic. I used to blame my car. I blamed the manufacturers. I used to blame the company. I blamed company policy. I used to blame the training program. I blame my relative. They put me down. I blame my neighbor to just selfish, looking out for themselves. What runs you money? They were in the list. I used to blame the economy. I blame the community that's operating list for not doing well, isn't it? I thought it was good. I never forget one day was very kind, but also very blunt, and it was not accepted, and I'm glad he was blunt. There are a lot of think item is to be blunt. One day, without look on his face, tell me how come you haven't done well up until now. Excellent questions. I found. Well, so I will look through or was to my list. And this list I gave you, I put that on him, and he was very patient. He let me know through the world, the whole thing, the government. When I finished, he looked my list very carefully. He said, big problem with my list, you let on it. How brilliant! When I worked for him a few months later, I learned very quickly to take off my list reason for not doing well, and I threw away and I got me piece of paper, and I put one word on it. Me, said normal, father normal, mother normal, brother normal, sister, but it's me standing in the midst of everything outside and then me turn my life forward. For a note, it's not what happened you quality your life. It's not what happened. And reason cause what happens to everybody, no difference. The sun went down last night. A happening and I found out the same thing can happen to you from people. It's because it's not what happens, but rather is what you do. What happened is about the same you might, but the same what people do that was different. Anything can happen, right? Everything can happen. I have heard on the stories. I have been on stories. Anybody here? They been had Murphy lost. Look at the lost on Earth. If anything can go wrong, it will. He was not one of the great positive speakers of the day, but anyway, it's still to the right. Anything can go wrong, everything can go wrong. For sure, I've fallen out of the guy so many times. Now it's well not much, but was on head. I mean that when it much arrive with its own good, if you got three to go, got one left, you look at that bad when it all goes. Has anybody been there? Anybody come on? This also happening, right? Everything can happen. Everything can happen. But it's not the happening what you do about it. Somebody say yeah, but you don't understand the disappointment I have. Come on. Everybody has their disappointment are not special gift reserved for the poor. Everybody has them. The difference is what you do about. It's not the weather. I used to blame the weather, and I discovered it rained on the ridge. So see, that wouldn't have helped. 2 minutes. Wake up one morning as a rainstorm on. When you see the rainstorm, then say, wow, what a storm with weather like this. They can't expect what myself. Say morning, the other guys look at see the same storm, say wow, what a storm. But you know what weather like it. What a great midday. Most everybody probably be home, especially the salesman. See, that's different in our life. Work out is not what happens, it's what you do. So here's one of the key questions in the evening starting tomorrow. What is going to do? The change for your life direction. Good question. What are you going to do starting tomorrow to do different? Now, if you don't do something starting tomorrow to make the difference, guess what? It's gonna be the same. And it doesn't look at the last fight. The next fight to the last fight. Unless you make the key tomorrow, change the door, or change the letter, or change something, or don't change. If joy time, you can do whatever you want. But I like to know any day you wish you can train the whole life. What can you do? Starting tomorrow and then make a difference. Good question. What can you do with economic disappointment? What can you do with a broken heart? What can you do with the whole world? Good question. I like Jim Jones about and you. Thank you for your listening.